Hey guys, Amanda Hyde-Pierce here from Thrive OBM Academy, and today I'm chatting to the wonderful, the talented Sadie. Now, Sadie is one of my most recent graduates of the Certified Online Business Manager program, and like me, she's based here in the UK. I'm thrilled she's agreed to have this chat with me today to share with us some of her experience of completing the Online Business Manager program. So let's get stuck in. Hello, Sadie. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me today. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Happy to talk, happy to chat.
Oh, thank you. It's great to see you. So should we get stuck in?
Yeah, sure.
Great stuff. Okay, so can you tell me a bit about your working background?
Mhm.
If you were ever a virtual assistant, or you came straight from corporate before, tell me a bit about your background, your working
Yeah,
experience.
sure. Well, I'm a bit of a mixed bag, shall
Hmm.
we say. I'm a many hat wearer.
Yep.
Um, I have a lot of customer service experience way back when, including being an air hostess for Virgin Atlantic, tea, coffee,
Ah.
tea. Yes, yes, yes. Um, and then I had quite a lot of corporate experience. I was an EA to a head of HR for Macmillan Cancer Support. I've also worked as HR admin. So I've got quite a lot of sort of corporate background. But then I'm very creative. I also had my own business for 20 years as a makeup artist.
Very
Um,
varied, very varied. Yeah.
yeah, but it's always been very customer focused. That's always been a thing that's sort of always linked it through. I've always been sort of someone who likes to do nice things for people.
Yeah.
Then with COVID shutting down basically the whole of the beauty industry, I decided to put my creative and organizational skills together, and I set up my own VA business, focusing more on sort of social media and marketing, being a little bit more on the creative side.
Mhm.
But I always knew in the back of my mind, I wanted to be an OBM. I wanted to take my career to that stage. So it's something that I'd always sort of had been there like a little seed in the back
Yeah.
of my mind. So yes, so for the last 2 years I've come to you off the back of a VA business.
Mm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so yeah, people often ask me, do you need to be a virtual assistant before you become an online business manager? The answer really is no, because like 50% is actually an exact 50% split at this stage. My students are corporate and VA. So you are someone who's come from a bit of a mixed bag, like you say, but
Yeah.
yes, you're someone who has had that virtual assistant
Mhm.
background. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sadie. Why did you choose to do the program with Thrive OBM Academy with me?
You're gonna blush now.
Oh God, don't.
It's because of you.
Oh.
No, it's simply because of you. As I say, it'd always been in the back of my mind. I wanted to be an OBM. I didn't go to the OBM week. I actually had a call with you, and I
Mhm.
don't know if you remember. It was quite a while ago, and you just moved into your sisters, and bless you, you had boxes everywhere,
Yes.
and I was your first call that you had when you come moved over,
Yes.
and I'm a very intuitive, I'm a massive empath, and you just got me in a way that I kind of thought this is the person I know isn't bullshitting, excuse my French, if I
Oh,
can say that,
bless you.
is just you're not pushy, you and one of the things I really, really liked was you said to me, one of the first things you said to me throughout our conversation was, if I didn't think you could do this, I wouldn't let you do this.
Yeah, it's true.
And for me, that was the golden ticket because
Yeah.
I last year signed up to a course that I've looking back now felt very pushed into, and I'm still repaying that course. I've told you about this,
Yeah.
and the pre-sales part was all very they were very full on and very wanting to talk all the time. But once you get into it, it was like tumbleweed. Whereas you haven't been like that. You've been very nurturing. You would randomly out of the blue that time when you sent me a message just to see how I am, and you thought of me on that day, and just little things like that
Yeah.
meant the world to me. And for
Oh.
me, that was someone I knew that I needed to, I would wanted to take the next step of my career, and it was solely down to you.
Oh, I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting.
Sorry,
Oh,
but
bless
it's
you. Thank
true.
you. Oh, that
It's
means a
true.
lot. Thank you so much.
It's true. Sorry, not the day to say this, is it?
Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh, bless you. Thank you. That means a lot. I know you had a bad experience, you mentioned it there, another program, the whole tumbleweeds and things, but I genuinely would like to ask, did you have any reservations going into this program at all? Any
No,
worry? No.
no, I think. I was at a point where I had said to you I had the time to do it but not necessarily the money to do it, but then if I waited till I had the money to do it, I wouldn't have had the time to do it. So it was like weighing it up.
Yeah,
Had no reservations about wanting to do it. My only reservation was, and we've spoken about this at length, was I'm not very techie
yeah,
in my I've never been. I'm more of a creative person
yeah,
or the
yeah.
really tricky person.
You
That
are.
was the one thing that has something that we've spoken about, that
Mhm,
I did wonder if that would be something that would hold me back, but
mhm.
it won't be.
It has it's not, from my experience of being with you over the last 20 so weeks, it's not something that's going to hold you back. You are so dedicated. You have just really thrown yourself into this and absolutely inspired me, because yes, you did say right from the start that you were worried about the techie element, and
Yeah,
it's very, very common for people to be worried about that element of it. And as you know, as a certified OBM, it's one of the biggest myths. People think they have to be techie, and really not. They don't have to be. Now, it's true that as we go along, we do pick up certain things, but in our position as a managerial position, as a leader position, as an OBM, we have teams that look after tech parts. They look after
yeah.
their expert zones. We look after our own. So yeah, absolutely. You've inspired me along the way. You've just thrown yourself into it and been amazing. But yeah, absolutely. Um, what are your thoughts on the program itself, how it's delivered, the learning style? We have one-to-ones, we have
Yeah,
our little group together, our group
yeah.
bits, we have resources. What are your thoughts about how the program is delivered?
I like the way it's literally from A to Z, and
Yeah.
it starts off talking about what an OBM is. And the other thing I want to point out is, because it's a certified OBM course, so I'm a certified OBM. I'm not just calling myself an OBM, it's
Mhm.
certified. So you
Absolutely.
literally go from A to Z. And I
Yeah.
like the way it's progressive. So one thing leads to another. Every week you get a new release come out, and then you do that, and then we have our one-to-one, which was always so helpful, because you would also put us then in the situation, and you would turn the tables and say, well, okay, so what would you do in that situation? And
Mhm.
it'd be like, what would I do? Because
Yeah.
it's a way of showing how much we've learned.
Yeah, yeah. I think often students that really do surprise themselves at just how much they do learn along the way.
Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, no, it is very
You've
much
always, but
facilitated learning. And I know in the
yeah,
last couple of years, the association has spent quite a lot of money bringing in experts, adult learning experts, to really refine the program and bring it all together in a way that really complements how adults, specifically how adults work, and the different types of way that adults work. And I'm seeing, as a trainer, I'm seeing the benefits of that come through in the way the
yeah,
students are learning
yeah.
more than ever before, and how they're really taken to it more than ever before. And it's been, I mean, for me as a trainer, it's been a fantastic experience.
Mm.
Thank
But
you for
I,
that.
but I
Yeah.
think the support as well, in as much as you give us templates to use, you
Mhm.
give us examples. Oh, and by the way, this is in your portal. You can brand it your own way and use it. I think
Yeah.
that's half the battle as well, because some things you might, like, I'm taking notes, screenshotting and all this, but
Mhm.
when you've actually got something you can go back and reference
Yeah.
and go on to use, that
Mhm.
is amazing. Because I think half the problem is not when you get in the situation, you're like, oh, what was it? But you can actually just go back to that module because you've got access to it, and you can just print stuff out. And that's really, 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 I think that's so
Mhm.
super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you have lifelong access now to the portal,
Mm.
and all that doesn't go away. That's always there. The resources are there for you forever to use, to rebrand, whether those resources are lead magnets to help you promote your business, or those resources are launch templates, or
So
optional
helpful.
items where
So
you can actually
helpful.
sit and actually work with the client straight away. You
Yeah.
can just start off straight away with the client.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very helpful. And
Yeah.
even as an OBM myself, I still use them as well.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they're very helpful. What about your thoughts about interaction with other students? Have you made any friends or connections along?
No, none at all.
Not at all.
No. Yes, I have. I've met my business soulmate, I think, in my
Mhm.
beautiful little Diana. Um you paired me with her. She lives in Bali, but for me, believe it or not, I'm quite introverted, and I don't often like being put in a big group. per se. So just for it to be me and you and her was amazing. We complement each other so beautifully that I was, in fact, because she is quite techie, I was in fact a little bit intimidated at first. I was a bit like, oh. But then as the program went on, there was things that she wasn't so comfortable about, and she would message me, and I'd wake up to message, because obviously the time difference, and that things that I would find easier and things that she found a bit more challenging. And during parts of this course, I don't know if I'm allowed to say too much, but you have to do like a review project, and it's very, very intense. So we just put in daily chats, and we would talk every day. Because it was the one thing that helped each other, and she'd go, oh, have you seen this, have you seen that? So I know, I'm just looking forward to seeing, I know she's already signed a client and she's off, but yeah, she's amazing. And now the thing is to get to Bali to have a little holiday.
That's all. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be lovely. You're coming too.
You two just have the best connection, you really do, and like you said, just compliment each other.
And I love her dearly. She's amazing.
And you know what, she says the same about you. She absolutely does. But there you go. All right, so one more question. What would you say to someone who is considering the program but is maybe still on the fence a little bit?
I would say, I didn't do the Facebook lives because I just got on a call to you, but I would urge people to maybe join the lives that you do to get an insight into it. And if they're still on the fence, to schedule a call and actually talk to you, because you've lived and breathed every bit of this, and you were a VA and you've got corporate background, so you can help identify anybody's little quirk and help talk them through it. So my advice would be to do it, because it's an amazing course. Make sure you set plenty of time aside. That's the one thing. There's a couple of certification week. You were right, didn't feel quite so bad as the other one.
There you go.
Funny, isn't it? But there are a couple of times when you really do need to be able to commit time to it. So that would be my biggest thing. But if you make sure you've got time, I'm a single parent, so it sometimes is tricky to find, like, I don't always have time at the weekends and in the evening. So for me, it was fitting it into time when I could during the day. But if anybody is on the fence, I would say watch the lives or just speak to you. Because the one thing you won't do is take anybody onto this journey that you genuinely don't think is going to do well. And I can contest to that. I think that's the thing that sold it to me.
Oh, bless you, bless you. Sadie, thank you so much. Thank
pleasure.
you so much for sharing this time with me. I'm beyond excited for what lies ahead of you. I can't wait to see how it unfolds. And like, you know, at the very, very least, as your trainer, as the person that's doing this with, at the very, very least, I'm contracted to stay with you until you at least get your first client. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not getting rid of me either.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I just want to say I'm so proud of you, what you've done, and absolutely thrilled, and can't wait to see what lies.
Thank you for, you know, over Christmas we had to do one of our projects, and you were just always like, if you need to talk to me, just drop me a message. And you were there, and you really have had my back, and that to me is just like, you've been incredible. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sadie. Thank you. And for those who would like to learn more about Sadie's business and the services she offers, depending on where you're watching this video, you'll either find the contact details either on screen or in the comments section. Okay, folks. Bye for now.